I was still a scientist. But I wanted to give back to the school where I was taught and brought up. Now, the reason I'm giving you this background is that not everyone that builds a successful brand will have to go through school to do it. But as long as you develop a learning attitude, which is what I'm going to talk about. Just a couple of points that I will be talking about, and then I will hand over to the legendary man himself, which I think his voice should be the last that we hear on the podium. First of all, the most important thing in developing a brand is to carve a niche. Carve a niche, know what is it that you want to do. Do not be a general trader. There is a tendency now that because Cipro is open to everyone and anyone when they can register a company, that they will register in Zumbu's general trading. Then when you're asking what is it that you're offering, then they will tell you we're doing everything. People that do everything end up not doing anything.
Yes.
It's like nobody's responsibility ends up being nobody's responsibility really. That you have to have a niche, zoom into your interests, and the most important thing is to discover what is it that drives you. What is it that catches your heart and your brains? And secondly, once you've carved that niche, ensure that you study the industry. Now, there are people that because they are qualified or they have a know-how of the industry, then they think they know the industry. Before you delve into any industry, ensure that you study the industry. Every industry has its norms. It has its jargon, it has its own culture, organizational culture. I think you've learned about that. The organizational cultures, the structures, and the modus operandi of the industry. Be curious, be inquisitive to know what it is that is going on within that industry. And thirdly, probably, which is very important for me, is know why you are industry. Let your why be your propeller, be your propelling fact. The fact that you wake up in the morning, you go to the office, you go and hustle, you go and build a brand is your why. It is the very reason why you wake up from the onset. Now, if you don't know your why, then you will not focus on your how and your when and your house. Are we together? Because when your why is glaring right in front of you, you will know that I have to get up and do A, B, C, D, E. You will not have time that you cannot account for. And be open-minded to competition. I want to stand on this. Many a time in the industries that we operate in, we are threatened by competition when we are supposed to be jacked up by competition. If I can make an example, if Woolworths would be complacent and not consider what Truworths is offering, they would be stagnant, they would not grow. But what makes a brand grow is to understand that there is competition, and competition is very healthy. Actually, the industry I'm serving now, I'm working in the funeral services industry. It's a very, very intense industry. But you will see that people are registering funeral undertakers every day. It is a survival of the fittest. But what they are failing to understand is you can only learn and become the best when you learn from your competition. Now, when we face competition, oftentimes we want to resist the competition, isn't it? Because we want to see ourselves as the best of the best. We want to be the people in the industry. But before we can declare you as the leader in the industry, it means you shall have conquered the other brands in the industry. So for you to make it, you must ensure that you take care of your competition and you keep it healthy. Meaning there will be things that you are going to learn and master from your competition. Into when you do your SWOT analysis, you will know your strongest points, you will know your weakest points as the brand, and you will be able to identify your opportunities when you measure yourself against competition. So competition keeps you on your toes. Otherwise, without competition, you'll be a snaking brand, you'll be a dwarf brand, you will not grow. Be teachable in the industry. Be teachable in the industry. Know that you will not know everything. And it is okay for you not to know some things. You know, there are people that will know everything. Like, they will think that they know everything under the sun. Even the very Putco Mafani is still learning new things in the industry that he has mastered over a number of years. Even if you would talk to Bill Gates about Microsoft, there are new things that he is learning within the industry. So when you are learning, when you are growing in the industry, if you want to grow as a brand, you must be able to have a teachable attitude. Now, attitude is developed, it's cultivated. You determine and you decide that I am good. You can't just wake up and suddenly you are teachable. You have to cultivate it. You have to work at it. And this I want to talk about now is very, very, very important. There is a thin line between your corporate brand and your personal brand. There is a very thin line between Bongi Mafani and Putco Mafani Consulting. Now let me make an example. If I write something on Facebook, I write it as Bongi Mafani. But people that know me, they know me as the general manager of Putco Mafani Consulting. So they will automatically relate whatever I am saying on social media to what, to the brand that I'm representing. So you must know that you are an ambassador of the brand that you are building. Nobody else is going to be your ambassador except yourself. We had employees at Putco Mafani Consulting, and we would be at loggerheads with some of them with what they would post on social media, and they would think that we're finicky about it. And we said to them, look, if you write something, let's say it defames someone's character, when they hit you with a lawsuit, it affects and taints the brand inevitably. So it is very important that is why in this day and age, even when you're looking for employment, they do check out your social media space to see how responsible you are. And I don't know if the rate of unemployment will be affected by what people are posting on social media today. But it's very important that the way you carry yourself, even at a mall. I mean, I'm very conscious of the brand, I must say. I just do not go out there without thinking about the brand. The brand that is Bongi Mafani and the brand that is Putco Mafani Consulting. Consistently, they've got to balance. Because without that balance, I will become irresponsible and reckless. Let me make an example. Kaiser Chiefs used to have Jabukule. You remember Jabukule? He was flippant talented. But his greatest downfall was that he was not able to manage his personal life. You remember? He would drink, he would do all of these things that would affect him on the field. Now his career ended abruptly as a soccer player because he could not manage his personal brand, and therefore it ended up affecting who he was in terms of the field of play. So there is no way where you're going to say, I am who I am, I say what I say, I don't care about the brand. Even if you work for yourself or you work for another corporate. And I think we did touch on the fact that we are looking at building you doing your own thing other than working for someone else. But trust me, even when you work for someone else, you've got to be responsible about that brand. They've got the right to call you to order when you are not representing the brand. That is why when people go through their personal challenges, it definitely affects their careers. It definitely affects their careers. So protect your brand. Protect it. You can't, I usually say that I can't get into a room full of people and say I am Bongi Mafani and then I don't look like Bongi Mafani. Whatever that means to me. So if it means to me how I dress up, how I present myself, how I say things, the language that I use is representative of who Bongi is, then it should benefit Putco Mafani Consulting at the end of the day. I hope you do get that. Be patient with growing the brand. It takes blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights. But unfortunately, in our country, through the tendering system, and you know, people have thought that the success of the brand will be overnight, such that they will do things that will compromise their integrity. So be patient, that it will take a while. If it takes you instantly to build the brand, trust me, it's going to take it instantly to tap it down. Because you will not understand the strength, the pressure, and everything that it took to build a brand. And guard jealously of the name of your brand. Okay, one of the things that I do, Willie knows I'm a preacher. Even Solomon says a good name is more desirable than great riches. A good name on its own. You know, some people don't have millions in the bank, but they have a good name, such that when they go and open doors, they use their names, they don't use their money. So it's important that you look after a good name, the integrity, your credibility. It's something that no one can take away from you. Yes, you may not be getting all the millions and everything but if you retain your good name, then that is why people work extremely hard to protect their names. Because some of them, it's what they have. It's the only thing that they have to sustain them. And how you can do this is to be grounded on your value systems. Be grounded on your value systems and your belief systems. Sometimes we want to separate our beliefs and our corporate or careers. They are quite interlinked. If you take bribes, I'm going to make that blunt example. If you call yourself a Christian and then you turn around and you take bribes in brown envelopes, it taints your integrity, it taints your reputation. So you need to ensure that your value systems ground you. Even in the industry, there must be things that people know that Ubongi does not do this. It's either we give her the job or we don't. But she stands for this. She stands for this particular belief. And therefore, it's either she does this or she doesn't do this. It's very, very important. It can either build your brand or break your brand. Now, your beliefs become your safety belts. I always say they become your safety belts and your shock absorbers. Because sometimes the road will be turbulent as you are growing the brand. And let me make an example. There was a social media spent against me a couple of months back. When was it? Was it in April? And there was a video that was circulating that was targeted at me. So many people will know that Twitter, Facebook, newspapers were on it. Now, many people wanted to hear what I was about to say, what I was going to say about it. I decided not to say anything because I was conscious of two things. I did not want to lose myself in it. I did not want to lose my brand, my corporate brand in it. Because whatever I would have said would have been scrutinized. Whether some would say she should not have responded. Some would say she should have kept quiet. Some would say she should have said this. So whatever, no matter how strongly I felt about what I wanted to say, but because I was guarding jealously of the two brands, that is my corporate brand and my personal brand, my integrity, my sanity, and how people view me, because how people view you is what you give to them. Now, if you've given them that you are a sensationalized person, you are an irrational person, you are an abrupt person, then they will handle you that way. So you need to be able sometimes to stem up some of the things for the sake of the brands that you are building. Okay? Now, in one radio station, they had to get rid of one of their employees because they needed to guard jealously of the brand that they are building. Even though it's an old radio station, they could have, put it under the carpet, but because it was impacting on how people view the brand, they had to eliminate some of the things that are going to affect the brand. I don't want, I'm being recorded here, so I don't want to let myself in hot water and saying things that will end in hot water. So sometimes, in fact, all the time, you must be conscious of what you say, how you say, even the language that you use. Even the language that you use. I mean, there are people when you read their social media posts and you get shocked when you get to a corporate that this is a strategic manager, and you're like, or this is a stakeholders relations manager, and you're thinking, okay, I've just seen a post that you've just posted. So it becomes very consistent, your lifestyle and the brand that you are building. Build your networks. Build networks. If there are networking sessions, go to those networking sessions, get the contacts, guard jealously of your contacts. That is why sometimes when you are asking for people's numbers, some people will not give them to you. Because people are guarding jealously of their contacts. I may give you someone's number, you're asking for Dr. Precious Muloy's number, and then I give it to you, and then you stalk her. and then I land myself in hot water. So be able to build the networks, retain those networks, make them work for you. Don't just keep the networks, make the networks work for you. Respect the resources that you have. Sometimes as a brand, like I had said earlier, you may not have the necessary rands and cents, but you may have resources. The first resource that you respect in any brand building is time. If you hear people say time is money, they are telling the truth. Time is money. You must be able to account for your time. Whether you're working for yourself, you know, sometimes when working for ourselves, you know, we don't want to be employed because we want to control our own time. When we are accountable to ourselves and the brand, we got here at 5:30 because we knew we had an appointment with you. Had we gotten here at 6:30 when our appointment would be 6 o'clock, it would taint the reputation of the brand. It would mean we do not respect what we've come to do here. So because we respect what we've come to do here, it means we have to value the resource that is time. Everybody has 24 hours in their day. Vusitendo has 24 hours. I have 24 hours. Trevor Noma has it. Whoever else you can think of, you have 24 hours. Now, how you decide to use that time is very, very important. That is why you must not rest until you can account for each day in your life. Sometimes I get frustrated, I sit and I think that, what did I do on Monday? And then I discover that my Monday is shady. Then I have to make up, because it means I wasted 24 hours of resource. Value and respect your value chain. In every business, there is what we call a value chain. If I'm in the events management space, there will be people for sound, there will be people for videography, for photography, there will be people for marquees, there will be people for catering, there will be people for security, there will be different people, your program directors, your entertainers, and everyone that will be part of the event. Now, make sure that you value every aspect of your value chain, because it does not matter how you can plan on paper for your project, but how it pans out and how it unfolds relies solely on your value chain. Let me make an example. If you are doing an event and you've scheduled to set up the marquee 3 days before the event, if the marquee guy does not come 3 days before the event, then it has messed up your schedule of events. So if I happen to not have good relations in any of the value chains, then it is going to inevitably affect the entire panning out of the event. The last two things I want to say. Make sure you balance your emotional intelligence and your IQ. In Xhosa we say yingqondo yemveli nengqondo yesikolo. What am I saying? The knowledge that you are busy penning down now, you learn it from textbook, is okay. But be streetwise as well. You ever heard that? When people say be streetwise, because you are rigid. You are not open-minded. So you need to balance two things: emotional intelligence and your IQ. If you fail to balance those two, then it means you will have someone who's not able to even value relationships. Because when you build brands, you rely mainly on relationships. So when you balance your IQ and your EQ, then we can trust you that you are able to apply what you've acquired from the classroom and able to have it unfold in your day-to-day life. That is why we find some people not pleasant to work with. They acquire 9, 10 degrees, but when they get into the industry, they do not know, they are not pleasurable and palatable to work with, because they can only get the 80s and the 90s on paper. But when it comes to human relations and human capital, those people are not able to sustain relationships. Now, brands thrive on relationships. The reason why today you can fly up to Joburg and get to the Kaizer Chiefs village and have a warm reception, it is because of relationships that have been sustained and maintained over a period of time through emotional intelligence. And the last one before Putco Bongi Mafani is, I think he is going to dwell more on this as well. Do what you love, and you're going to love what you do. We have people that do things because they've seen other people do them. I want to take the industry up, like the events management industry. Everyone thinks they can wake up and do events. And it's one of the challenging industries one can think of. You know, it's one of the greatest challenging industries and one of the dirtiest industries one can think of. But when you're loving it, you don't feel like you are working, because you're going to love what you do. And once you love what you do, in fact, when you do what you love, you're going to love what you do. So it's going to wake you up. It's going to give you new visions. It's going to propel you to be the best that you can be. It's going to keep you on your toes. It's going to sustain you even on the rough. Like in business, there's a dry season, and then there's a summer season, and then there's a rainy season, and then there's a cold one, and then there's a silent one, you don't know what's going on, and then booms again. But when you love what you do, it sustains you, and you are able to see opportunities wherever you are. Now, instead of you seeing the glass as half full, as half empty, you see it as half full. It helps you maintain a good positive attitude that whilst you are busy growing this baby, the brand, you see how you carry your phone, you don't want to have it fall down. This is how you should carry your brand, that in whatever season I'm at, this baby that I am trying to grow, let me not suffocate it. Let me not be the one to kill it. Let me not be the one to expose it to harsh environments. But that when it faces harsh environments, I'm able to guard jealously around it and caution it and see it grow. So, thank you very much. That's it from me.
Well, I think she was brilliant, wasn't she? thanks, Prof, for the invite to come and share what people in South Africa and beyond perceive to have been an interesting journey in my marketing, communications, and media. Well, she's covered a lot actually. I don't think I should be saying about it. I'll just say a few things because she's covered a lot. But I think I will dwell more on how everything under marketing is so correlated and so interdependent that it becomes almost difficult to run with one aspect of marketing and leave out the others. Particularly in this day and era. I mean, if you talk, it's even difficult to talk of marketing only and leave out communications. So quite often we speak of marketing and we refer to elements in communications because the two are very related. Ours is a marketing and communications agency. Public relations is a component there, advertising, research, media management, social media, media relations, social media influencers and brand ambassadors, touching on what she has spoken about, branding, events management, where you find promotions and customer activations. I have discovered that the world of PR, which is public relations, and marketing and advertising, are all connected in one way, all of which are complex and granular, but they are very connected. I remember when I got to Kaizer Chiefs, before that, Kaizer Chiefs had one person who was responsible for marketing, responsible for events, responsible for research, responsible for media relations and media management. Well, there was no social media then. Responsible, there also was no digital marketing then. Responsible for public relations and all of it. It was one person. But we have to break it down. We have to break it down. And so while I took care of PR and communications, I had a colleague that was running with branding, and I had another colleague that was running with sponsorships and all of that. So it's quite complex, but it's granular. It's got those finer details, all of which are indispensable. They're indispensable not only in as far as corporate brands are concerned, they're also indispensable in as far as personal brands are concerned. They very interrelated. Part of what worked for us, I'll be sharing experiences, but part of what worked for us at Kaizer Chiefs then was to realize that we had a great celebration of talent, and we had to manage that because this is an area where you find creative people, because talented people are creative in nature. They are designers, they design, they are concept designers. Whether it's a brilliant midfielder on the field or it's a coach, these people they design things. And we discovered that talent sometimes, as Ubungi was saying earlier on, talent in the absence of discipline can be destructive. If you consider yourself a talented person, I've got bad news for you, because not only does it end with talent, 80% of what will guarantee your success is the discipline that goes with that talent. A couple of years ago in the Eastern Cape, there was a junior flyweight champion, an SA junior flyweight champion based in Utrecht. And I'm not talking about welcoming Italian Vianney based in